Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1971 Seattle Pilots What If Scenario. Today's matchup is between the Minnesota Twins and the Seattle Pilots at Brainiac Stadium. On the mound for the Twins today is Dick Estelle, whose record is 2-6 with a 5.61 ERA. And pitching for the Pilots is Bruce Brubaker, whose record is 2-6 with a 4.06 ERA. Okay, yesterday's game was a bummer. We had a 3-2 lead going into the ninth inning, and the Twins scored 4 in the ninth off of our closer, Wayne Granger. And we couldn't get any more on the board. It was another frustrating loss, as we're now 2-5 for the month of June. But then after yesterday's game, we had our amateur draft. And we picked up some really great players. If you did not see who we got, let me pull up the transactions and I'll show you really quick. We had draft picks for our team, and there they are. It's probably as good as you're going to get in this game. We got George Brett in the first round with the 5th pick, Jim Rice in the 2nd round. In the 3rd round, we had Keith Hernandez. In the 4th round, we had Dick Davis. And in the 5th round, we had Rodney Scott to play 2nd. And then we went with another left fielder with our final pick, and that was Larry Herndon. So really 6 excellent players who I think are going to help us in the long term. Not a lot that we can do with that this season as we put it back to where it was. Yeah, there were a bunch of retired people at the end of it. Joe Zadeb was Mr. Irrelevant with the final pick in the draft. So what I've done with our roster heading into today's game is we did bring Dave Parker up to AAA, Greg Pryor up to AAA, Fred Kendall up to AAA, and of course we just traded for Rick Auerbach. So we do actually have some quality players that are over 80 for their ratings. And we added all those new batters to single A. So there's Brett, Rice, Hernandez, Dick Davis, Rodney Scott, and Larry Herndon. In order to find at-bats for the players that we called up to AAA, I had to shuffle some of the defensive assignments around, including Don Young, who was a right fielder. We made him a left fielder. You can do that by clicking on the fielding button and then choosing a different position for them to play. Then you click change position. It even tells you down here what the better options are for those players. If you're really changing them from one position to another that they're not familiar with, you have to keep them in the minor leagues for a few seasons for them to develop at that position. So now that we've moved Don Young to left field, having right field open for Dave Parker will allow him to continue to mature at the AAA level. We have some problems with our pitchers, though, right? We did not draft any because the only good pitcher in the draft was Frank Tanana for a starter, and really, I guess Bruce Sutter and Dan Quisenberry were available in relief. So we went with all batters, which was the right thing to do, maybe to give us a little trade leverage somewhere down the way. Now, we did call up previously Dennis Leonard and Dick Ruthven. That was about 2 weeks ago. And Sid Mungie I just brought up today. So we are looking sparse here. Now here's the really bad news, guys. I went and tried to trade Dave Boswell to all the teams that are in his no trade clause. So he'll only approve trades to the Senators, Orioles, Royals, Expos, Padres, or Giants. Remember, he did have the Reds on here. Well, now the Reds are gone and the Giants are on there. So I went to each of these teams and made outstanding offers. Like, I loaded up players who had 80 or better that I know we could afford to lose to try to get rid of this salary, and each team declined because of the amount of payroll that they would be taking on. The other players that I added to the trade were all minor league salaries, and none of them were willing to, bite on the bait. So I think we just have to wait until closer to the trading deadline to maybe make a deal, or maybe Dave Boswell will want to make a trade to the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Mets. And if they do, then maybe we can make a deal a little bit easier. But for right now, we're stuck. And the other point I want to make about that is we've only got Brubaker, Gellner, Riddleberger, and Locke that are on minor league deals, or the major league minimum. They're not going to be free agents. You know what I mean? And so, in order for me to bring up Leonard or Ruthven, we got to send one of those four guys down. We just can't cut anybody because we're in the negative. So we have all kinds of factors that are keeping us from being a more competitive team. And that's frustrating to me. I'm sure it's frustrating to you guys. But we're going to have to play on regardless. And Bruce Brubaker, who has a good overall rating, will get the start today. Wayne Granger just got completely destroyed yesterday, and he will not be available today. If we need a right-handed closer, it'll be Sanders, or a left-handed closer, it will be a Riddleberger. Dick Estelle, he's a left-hander who's had a lot of success against us, but having a rough year so far. He gets the start today. Tito Fuentes is listed as tired. We're going to play him anyway. Jose Cruz is listed as tired, and this is a good opportunity to rest him against another left-handed player. So Don Bosch will be in there at center, and we'll move Tommie AGEE to left field. I think that gives us better range in the outfield. After having 2 days off from playing third base, Rich Rollins will get back in there today. Aurelio Rodriguez did not get a hit in either one of those starts. Okay, let's go ahead and do the lineup rundown for the Minnesota Twins. Batting leadoff in center field is Jim Nettles. Batting second at first base is Rod Carew. Batting third in right field is Tony Oliva. Batting cleanup in left field is Charlie Manuel. Batting fifth at third base is Graig Nettles. Batting sixth and catching is George Mitterwald. Batting seventh at second base is Fred Frazier. Batting eighth at shortstop is Leo Cardenas. And batting ninth is the pitcher, Dick Estelle. Okay, we've got Bruce Brubaker making his 13th start of the year. He is 2-6 with a 4.06 ERA, 50 strikeouts in 68 2/3 innings pitched, and opponents are batting .258 against him. His fastball topping out at 92 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 47.2%. He's got a good fastball and a good slider, overall rated an 82. The 29-year-old righty will not be arbitration eligible till next year, so we could send him down if we needed to bring up a better arm. Looking at his log, I mean, he has at least factored in decisions in the last 7 starts, but unfortunately he is 2-5 in those. He gave up 11 hits versus California, which amounted to 6 runs. He did not walk anybody, though. So in that way, it's his best start with the walk to strikeout ratio. Okay, we'll take a look here at our defense. Not too shabby. We've got Belanger at short, so that'll help out with Rollins. Outfield looks good. We know PEPITONE can get it done out there in right field. And behind home plate, once again, is SANGUILLEN. Okay, Jim Nettles leading it off. He's got 3 hits in each of the first 2 games of this series. And Brubaker decides to walk him. One of the weakest hitters on the team. And he's got 6 hits. Unbelievable. Leadoff walk. Rod Carew up next with a comebacker to Brubaker. Only play is to go to first. Carew had those 4 RBI yesterday that pretty much sunk our ship. And a base hit will make it 1-0 Minnesota. a double for Tony Oliva, only his third of the year. Okay, Oliva in scoring position. Here's Charlie Manuel swinging at a pitch that was 1.5 feet outside. And Graig Nettles. There's a ground ball to Belanger, and that will do it. Twins jump ahead. We look at the bottom of the first, and here's our lineup. Batting leadoff. Playing second base is Tito Fuentes. Batting second and catching is Manny SANGUILLEN. Batting third at third base is Rich Rollins. Batting cleanup at first base is Rose Skidmore. Batting fifth in right field is Joe PEPITONE. Batting sixth in center field is Don Bosch. Batting seventh in left field is Tommie AGEE. Batting eighth at shortstop is Mark Belanger. And batting ninth will be the pitcher, Bruce Brubaker. Okay, Dick Estelle making his 11th start of the year, 2-6, with a 5.61 ERA, 40 strikeouts, in 59 1/3 innings pitched. Opponents are batting .317 against him. Does not have a complete game this year. He's got a great fastball, topping out at 94 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 46%. Fastballs is out pitch rated a 94 and a curveball rated an 82. Overall, he's only rated a 74 now. Did he get injured? He did. He missed 2 weeks with a hand stress fracture. And that might be the beginning of his downfall because he's had some success. And now he's only a 74. So the 29-year-old lefty is arbitration eligible next year. Here's his log coming off a loss to Kansas City. But you'll see back here in April, he had 3 starts against us. And he went 1 and 2 in those starts. Okay. That's good for us. We'll take a look here at the defense for the Twins. They are solid everywhere, much like we are, with the same right field rating with Oliva. Is that Oliva out there? Yeah, it is, with a 79. Everyone else is good. Mitterwald, a guy you can steal on, but we just cannot even bother to do that anymore and waste an out. Tito Fuentes leading it off. He's a little sleepy today. Topping it up to second. 1 out. Here is Manny SANGUILLEN. 0-2, and SANGUILLEN got it. Home run to right center field, 425 feet. His 3rd home run. We have started hitting dingers once again. But we our player high has only 5, so that's not. Rollins continues to slide as he grounds out to short. And Rose Skidmore might be our hottest hitter. Hits a ground ball to short as well. So the home run by SANGUILLEN ties it up at 1. We go to the top of the second. Here's the catcher, George Mitterwald, walking. So we've walked each of the leadoff batter in each of the innings. I mean, why does this keep happening? Why is it that every leadoff hitter in every inning gets on automatically? It's so frustrating. Fred Frazier popping it up. Play made by the first baseman, Skidmore. Let's see, the pitcher's up next. We're going to bring third base in. Kind of psych out Leo Cardenas. 304 hitter versus righties. He goes the other way to second. And a double play will end it. I think my psych out worked. I don't know why, but that actually does work. I don't know if it's a glitch, but paid off for us in that situation. Okay, Joey Pep. He goes to left field, and he'll get a base hit. Only batting 209 versus lefties. He is the only left-handed bat in the lineup. Pepitone on first. Don Bosch hit his 2nd home run of the season yesterday. Gave us a lot of hope. And he gets a base hit into center here. Okay, so we brought the bats today so far. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Tommie AGEE hasn't seen a bat in a long time. And he Watches a wild pitch go by. It was down by his feet. Batters move up to second and third. And there's an opportunity here to drive in some runs. That's a ground ball to short. PEPITONE will score. Now, I'm learning my lesson the hard way. Instead of hitting go on contact in those scenarios, it's better to just let the game decide whether he goes or not. I wanted him to score on a, ground ball. But whenever you choose that, then they pick third base as where the ball will get hit to, and then he's out at home. So I guess we're halfway into, a little over a third of the way into the season. We're learning these things as we go. Now, we do take the lead. That's always good. And then Belanger does a Belanger. Hits a ground ball to third. If Bruce Brubaker could play shortstop, he'd be in there right now. He's batting 100 points higher than Mark Belanger. And making harder contact. Ground ball to second. And that'll do it. So the Pilots score. We go to the top of the third, and Estelle will lead it off. He's batting .077. He's showing his O face. Ground ball to second. There's one out. Next man up is Jim Nettles, who started the game off with a walk. Why not give him another one? Not even being judicious about it. That's a ground ball to short. Can we get another double play? No chance. That'll move Nettles into scoring position for Oliva, who's guaranteed to drive him in. Ground ball to third. Error? No. Okay. I feel like the errors have kind of softened a bit. I still anticipate an error every time, but we haven't seen a whole lot lately. Fuentes walks. There we go. Now we got a walk in our favor. That's the first walk of the game for Estelle. And our best shot to hit a run with Manny SANGUILLEN. 0-1 count. And something to somebody. Ball back to Estelle. I don't have anything open on the computer, so I don't know why there was a delay there. But now Fuentes is in scoring position for Rich Rollins. Rollins cannot do anything now. We have no one to play third, except for George Brett. Call him up as an 18-year-old, and a ground ball by Skidmore. Okay. We go to the top of the fourth, up a run, and Charlie Manuel will lead it off. Full count. That was a guaranteed walk, I thought. It would have been the third consecutive inning. Instead, Manuel flies out to left center. Here's Graig Nettles with a ground ball to Fuentes. Now, with Fuentes being tired, does that make him prone to more errors? Or is it only a batting thing? Or is it nothing at all? Which is very likely. A 1-2-3 inning for Brubaker. That's exactly what we needed. Bottom of the fourth. Here is Joey Pep. He had a base hit and scored a run. Ground ball to first. CAREW making the play. Don Bosch up next. Ground ball to second. 2 down, and Tommie AGEE 5 for 23 versus Estelle, and he strikes out on the check swing. Top of the fifth inning. It's the bottom third of the lineup. Fred Frazier leading it off. And everybody gets on. Should just be an automatic take your base. Leo Cardenas, hard hit ground ball to second. Let's turn to. Yes. Brubaker is a pitcher that we're beginning to count on for a good start every time out. Maybe not that 11 hit one that in his last start, but he does seem to occasionally put it together. Mark Belanger, another worm burner. And Bruce Brubaker. Oh, come on, get down. Nope. Carrying to center. Play made by Jimmy Nettles. And Tito Fuentes. Oh, another hit from the tired guy. Base hit. We got to run. 65% chance. It's a lefty on the mound. Okay, let's think it through. SANGUILLEN does have a home run today. Let's trust. Let's let him swing away. First pitch swinging. And he pops it up. All right. So much for trust. It's overrated. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Still 2-1. Brubaker has reached the inning in which he typically blows up with all these lefties. This might be the time he coughs up a few runs. Striking out. Jim Nettles, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. I'm surprised he hasn't walked more with only giving up 2 hits. It's usually how the game works. And maybe that's coming. There's a hard hit ground ball to first. Skidmore pouncing on it. And Tony Oliva. Oh my gosh, we get a 1-2-3 inning in the 6th. Nicely done. Bottom of the 6th inning. All I'm thinking about is how is Baseball Mogul going to screw us? Rollins, jeez. Can we just alter his batting average down to 260 and get it over with? Will Skidmore ground out. So much for hitting a left-hander with all these righties in the lineup. PEPITONE has 1 of the 4 hits, and then 3 other by righties. And a guy that walked, he's got 2 hits. That's so dumb. And this is a guy who walked 149 batters last year. Here's Don BOSCH. Well, went to a 3-1 count against BOSCH, but BOSCH was swinging. 7th inning. I mean, he got us where we need to go. Anybody that we bring in who's a left-hander is going to give up 2 hits or 2 walks or some combination. Okay, so Rollins is going to come out, and we're going to bring in Aurelio. Rollins did nothing for us, so we may as well go to the defense. Here we go. We're keeping Brubaker in there. If we suck, we may as well let our starting pitchers go as long as they can go. There we go. So the home run by Manuel makes it 2-2. Nettles grounds out. MITTERWALD flies out to left. FRAZIER grounds out to second. I'm happy that the home run came against Brubaker. If we'd brought in a left-hander and a guy hit a home run off of him, which it would have happened anyway, I would have been pissed. And it would have been a blown save or whatever, toward that pitcher. There's Belanger. Holy shnikey, base hit the left. Okay, well, we got to take out Brubs. Although he's probably the best hitter on our team. Let's call up DJ to the plate. Not a hit and run kind of guy. Does have some pop. Wouldn't know it though. To the warning track. And Tito Fuentes grounds out the first. All right, well, another game where a starter will not get a decision. So frustrating. Kenny Sanders will come in. Kenny Sanders I mean, he's as bad as he could be, I guess, for a 74 rating. Looking at his log. He's got a 3 ERA over his last 20 appearances, so it's not horrible, but anybody's going to hit it out on him today. Even Leo Cardenas. Pop up on the infield. That's going to carry to shallow left center. And the play will be made by Belanger. Dan Monson coming in to pinch hit. He's 3 for 29 on the year. Batting 103. That means he is overdue for a hit. Ground ball to Rodriguez. 2 down. Sanders will come out. And we'll bring in Riddleberger. He'll face all the lefties. Maybe we can get a victory here in the bottom of the inning. Next inning, that is. And he hits it. There's nothing we can do. Nothing at all. Just let it happen. Doesn't even matter. Yep. And that's game over, folks. Yep. Hit by pitch, walk, and safe on an error. Can there be any more of a moguling than that to happen? Except for a grand slam. Gebert coming in. And we just wasted him in 1 inning. So stupid how this game works. Didn't even matter that it was lefty on lefty. Sanguillen gets a base hit. Well, Rodriguez is a good bunter. They're not pulling their corners in, so we'll drop it like a hot. It's gotta be hard to bunt a sidearm pitcher. But he gets it done. Rose Skidmore 0-2. Striking out. And Joey Pep has got 2 hits versus a lefty today because the game is done. Copy it up. Yep. Oh, come on. So dumb. Unearned runs. So freaking stupid. So Bosch has an inside the park home run, a regular home run, and now a triple. So dumb. All unearned. All right. Well, Riddleberger would get the win now. And now he brings the pitches. What a moron. What a monzum. I mean, do we go to Ray Peters? Or do we stick... I mean, can they score 3 runs off of Riddleberger with all the righties coming up? How does he do versus righties? Schlitz. Got 270, which is probably what you would expect righties to do against a left-hander. So he's going to give up a run here at least, even with 1 out. George. That's a base hit. And that starts it off. Freddie Frazier. Ground ball to first. Catcher running. Oh, of course. The catcher would beat out the throw to second. So this will be the 1 run that we give him. It's the junk run. Yeah, ground ball to second. Hey, what do you know? The Pilots win. 5-2. Handshakes, butt slaps. Sloppy stage. All right. Simulating. I wish someone would make a trade for Boswell. I will take a bag of garbage. That's just, I would take anything right now because we just keep losing money and losing money. Yeah, I kind of botched it. But, you know, like I said before, like maybe there's just no way the Seattle Pilots would have somehow succeeded, you know. We would have had to have been a small market team for such a long time until the Kingdom was built, right? So, you know, maybe, you know, in our game, this team would have been forced after this season to move to Milwaukee, you know? Anyway, taking a look at the standings, we continue to keep ourselves out of last place. Cleveland is 4.5 up. That's crazy. Dodgers have won 3 in a row. I mean, there's 3 teams in this division that are already out of it. And there are 4 teams in the East that are still in it. Let's take a look at headline news. Brainiac Baseball Daily Beat. Oh, the A's and the Expos make a big trade. I think now that the draft has happened, we're going to see a lot of trades. Let's check it out. Where is it? What am I seeing here? Is it, okay, maybe we got to go to the, maybe it got mixed in. Yeah, okay, here we go. So we saw the trade for Clapp. Someone got the Clapp. I guess it was Houston got the Clapp. And then we had this trade that happened today, which would have been after the draft, technically. So Montreal is going to trade Brian Downing, properly classified as a DH. He's going to Oaktown and will be in single A ball until the DH probably becomes a thing, and then they'll come right up and clobber in time. That's a good deal. And they're giving up to Montreal, again, expansion team, don't forget, Greg Haderman, as a 19-year-old who is pitching this year and pitching pretty poorly as a starter. He goes to single A. Bob McClure had a good long career. He's on the same rookie card as Ron Guidry. So he's in single A ball. And what's it worth to you? It's Dennis worth it to you to know that he is in single A for Montreal as well. I mean, look at those ratings. A 94 peak. That's amazing. So that's a pretty interesting trade. Okay, so let's scroll it on down. Scroll it on over. So Bobby Mercer got a 5-year extension with the Yankees. I got to go in and change that. That's a wise decision. He had 28 home runs last year. He's got 13 this year, batting .301. Yankees love Bobby Mercer. Who wouldn't? And Clay Kirby is injured. He's going to miss a month for the very sad San Diego Padres. 20-game loser last year. All right, and that's pretty much it. I think we already saw all the people who retired. These players retired from the free agent list. So when the draft ends, all those additional players go to the free agent list, and they have to make room for them by getting rid of the Schlubbersons. Okay, let's pull up the box score and get out of here. That was an interesting trade. That won't bear any fruit until maybe another year or so. Player of the game. I mean, we're going to give it to Don Bosch, who's a 2-run triple capitalizing on the George Mitterwald error, was the game-winning RBI, technically. He had 2 ribbies. So did Tommie AGEE. Good for him. There's the trip, home run by SANGUILLEN. Good job. Brubaker, you know what he did? He did a good job keeping us in the ball game. His ERA is under 4. Colonel Sanders came in, got 2 outs. We brought in Riddleberger, and he gets the win. He's 3-0. Bob Gebbard, 1-2. Okay, folks, that's it. We're going to come back tomorrow, start a brand new series. Until then, everyone, have a great day.